I think when it comes to sustainable women empowerment, we need to bring the conversations out of just a conference or a networking session. We need to bring them into our workspaces, into our home spaces, into spaces that we share with other women. It doesn't mean when you're trying to empower women, there must be this big action that needs to happen, but in small ways where we mentor, where we train, where we involve and bring people onto the tables that we sit in, that's where empowerment really, really happens, and happens on a day-to-day. It happens intentionally and organically if you allow it into your spaces. So I think it goes beyond just having a massive event and calling it a women's conference for the benefit or the empowerment of women. So I think once we start involving it on a day-to-day, practicing it, living it, to your sister, your sibling who's your sister, to your friend, to a trainee who just came into the office, just always being cognizant of your actions having a ripple effect on those around you and allowing it to be having an empowering effect. My time in pageantry is still very, very young, you know. I entered Mrs. South Africa in the beginning of 2023, and that was the first time I entered a pageant, and I happened to win. And so winning Mrs. South Africa means I represent South Africa at Mrs. World. And I'm not your typical pageant girl. I don't have a pageant girl walk. I don't have a pageant girl talk. I don't have a pageant girl way of speaking. You know, these are the things that you allow yourself to come out of your comfort zone. I'm an attorney. And for a long time in my career, I was a litigating attorney, meaning that I would speak in court every day. And very argumentative, for lack of a better way to explain it. But then you refine it, you allow yourself to go into a process of growth, mentorship, walking, coaching, and you just allow yourself to come out of your comfort zone and do something different that allows you to grow and stretch in different ways. Those are some of the smaller challenges that I faced, you know, being in Las Vegas for the first time, the big bad world. I left my family in South Africa. My child turned 5 while I was away. And so some of those things, you really put your mind over matter, and you understand the seriousness of why you are there, and you really put yourself in there and allow yourself to be present, just so that your departure and your representation of your country is not in vain.